from Echo City Music Lab. It is finally a beautiful spring-ish day outside, and I feel like doing a quick tutorial. I'm going to do Out of Love by Alessia Cara. Not too much to say here, let's just get into it. Alright, so let's get started learning the verse. And just a quick note, this song is in the key of G major. So that's all the white keys except for F's are sharped. So all the chords in this song are going to be made out of combinations of those keys I just played. And I recommend following along with the chord chart. I made it specific for this version. It has all the chords right over the lyrics so you can see how it all fits. There's a link to grab that down in the description. So the first chord we need is a G major. That's just going to be G, B, and D. I'm doing all these with first, third, and fifth finger. Next we're just stepping that up to an A minor. That's going to be A, C, and E. Next we've got an E minor 7, which is a 4-note chord, but we're going to do the E down in the left hand. So for the right hand, you're basically just going to do the same thing as you did for the G major chord, G, B, D. So that comes together when we add the left hand single bass notes. So I'm going to start with my third finger on the G and do G like that, step up to A, and then, like I said, the right hand just goes right back to that G chord, but the left hand drops down to the pinky on E, so we get that a little bit more colorful minor 7 sound. Also, the song is in 6/8 time, so we'll be counting it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we've got half a measure of G, 1, 2, 3, half a measure of A minor, 4, 5, 6, and then a full measure of E minor 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So now I'm halfway through that intro. 2, 3. And the verse starts. I won't tell you I'm lonely, 'cause it might be selfish. I won't ask you to hold me. 5, 6, 1, 2. That's all there is for the intro and the verse. The pre-chorus gets a little bit more complicated. Let's look at the right hand first. We've got this series of D chords where the top note just steps up. And we're not even going to do the fifth, just the root and one other note. So you'll see a D sus2, that's just going to be D and E. So that's the second, hence the sus2. Then you'll see D, and that's just going to be third finger on F sharp, D and F sharp. So that's basically making a D major chord sound. Then you'll see a D sus4, so stepping up to the fourth finger on D and G. And then finally D5. So now it's going to be the D and the fifth, like that. There's not a thing I could say, not a song I could. And for the left hand bass notes there, for the very first one, the D sus2, I'm going to go down to this low octave D with my pinky. And then for all of the other hits we just looked at, I'm going to go up to the higher one. So once again. Not a thing I could say, not a song I could. Now we do a really similar thing but with an A minor sound. So our left hand's going to go down to the A bass note, and we're going to do a lot of the same notes in the right hand. We're going to play the C here with our thumb. So that's, you know, it's kind of like a deconstructed A minor chord. So we're doing the A here, the C here, and then we do some of that stepping up with the top note we were just doing. Top note is an E yet again, only in the context of the A minor chord, it's like a fifth, and it's going to step up to a sixth and a seventh, rather than when it was D, it was second, third, fourth. Anyway, we've got A minor, then it steps up to what's going to be an A minor 6, and then an A minor 7. So that's just, again, stepping up the top note, E, F sharp, G. Not a song I could sing for your mind to change. Nothing can. Let's just keep going. We've got fill up the space. So that's just, I'm doing a D in the left hand, and it's a D6. So I've got a D, F sharp, and a B. And I just go back and forth between D6 and then down to just a regular old D. So the top note's stepping down from a B to an A. Fill up the space. Then we have a really similar thing between B minor and B minor 7. The right hand is actually going to stay the exact same. So this D6, once you add a B bass note, is now just kind of a regular B minor chord. And when you drop that pinky down to the A, then it sounds like a B minor 7. So we've got, won't ask you to stay. So one more time. Nothing can fill up the space. Won't ask you to stay. Just 3 more chords here for the but let me ask you one thing. So that's going to be an A minor, but we're doing an inversion of it this time. It's going to be E, A, and C. So before we were doing it down there, now it's up here. After that, we've got an E minor. I'm going to just move my thumb to the E. This one's going to be inverted like this. So B, E, G, ask you one. Stepping down to D here. Also an inversion. A, D, and F sharp for that. But let me ask you one thing. Oh, when. So we're in the chorus now. And going into the chorus on the oh, I just walked up on each of those kind of vocal rhythms. D, E, F sharp, and then we get to the G, which is the first chord of the chorus. Here's the reason why it's nice to know what key the song is in, because I could just tell you, we're just gonna walk up from D to G. But knowing that it's in the key of G and there's an F sharp in it means that you're not gonna go, oh, which would sound super weird. Oh, when. All right, so we're moving right along. Here's the chorus. So we've got a G. This time it's inverted from where we did it at the beginning of the song. Just up 1, so we got B, D, and the G's on top. And for this inversion shape where there's the bigger space here, I like to do 1, 2, and 5 for my fingers. Next from here, we've got an A minor 7. So the left hand's gonna step up to A. I'm gonna keep my pinky on G here and just move these 2 notes up and do 1 and 3 on C and E. Did. That's a nice sound. So we've got, oh, when, did. Now we're gonna go to an E minor 7. And it's also going to be inverted this time from where it was at the beginning. So we go down to E here, and then we just go right back to that G inversion we were just doing. U, so that's B, D, and G. When did you? So all of that flows really smooth there. Now we've got a C sus2. I'm going to go up to a C in my left hand, and actually, my second finger and pinky are already where they should be for that. I'm just going to move my thumb up to C. Fall. So that's C, D, and G. Fall out of... This song is kind of hard for my voice. I'm like on the fence between which octave I should sing it in. Fall out of love. So then we go back to that same G we did. Notice I put my pinky on it because we're about to reach up higher to a D, which is going to be a D, F sharp. So it's a D inversion. Out of, and then I'm going to step up to an E here. Love. So that's kind of like the inversion of E we did in the pre-chorus. B, E, G. Let me play that whole thing again. Oh, when did you fall out of love? Out of love. Oh. Then it goes around again. When did you fall out of love? And then this time when it does the D and E minor, we're just going to do regular root position chords. D, so just D, F sharp, A, with me, E, G, and B. Doing different inversions for the same chord at different times makes it a little more complicated for sure, but I wanted it to be accurate to the recording. Sweet, so we're well on our way now. We've got another verse, another pre-chorus, and another chorus next, and we learned all those parts. The only difference is once we get to the second verse, that's where the drums kick in the recording, and we're going to start doing right-hand chords on all the counts in every measure. So rather than just holding them like we did before, it's going to be a little more energetic. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I can't float in an ocean. 4, 5, 6. 1, 2. That's already been drained. 3, 4, 5, 6. 1. Make sure not to just pound all those counts. It'll get a little tiring to the ears. You want to be a little more subtle about it, gentle, maybe accent by playing slightly louder the first count and the fourth count in the measures, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That'll give it a nice kind of sway. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2. And then for that pre-chorus, you're going to keep doing that rhythm. There's not a thing I could say, not a song I could sing for your mind to change. Nothing to fill up the space, won't ask you to stay, but let me ask you one thing. Oh, when did you fall? So just keeping that rhythm going all through there, which brings us to the bridge. And we're going to keep that steady rhythm going through the bridge, and the first chord is an A minor. So A in the left hand, and then we're doing an inversion where it's C, E, A. No use wondering. So I just stepped up to a B minor there. So same shape, steps up to B here, and it's going to be D, F sharp, and B in the right hand. No use wondering why your changing heart has wandered. I really like this part. It's a little bit complicated. So after the A minor and the B minor, we went to a C, but it was an inversion on a C where we've got the C up top. And so we've got a E, G, and C. And in this moment, the top of the chord just steps down to follow the melody. So that's you're changing. So you kind of do the C chord, but then step, fourth finger down to B, third finger down to A. You're changing heart. So on heart, that's G over B. So I've got this G inversion that we were doing earlier in the chorus, B, D, G. But the over B part means that instead of doing that G bass note you might expect, it's doing a B bass note. It's got kind of this uplifting sound on its way. So it's just stepping, bass line is just stepping. C, B, has, and then back down to A. Wondered. So it stays on A for a sec. So I'll ask you, step back up to B minor, this question. Same thing again. 'Cause it might help me sleep. And then this time, instead of going to the A minor, it ends on longer. That's a D major chord. It's inverted. So left hand D, of course, and then A, D, F sharp. One thing about this last chorus that's a little bit different than the other choruses is at the end of each line of it, after the E minor, we get 3 beats of E minor, and then it goes back to a C sus2 chord, and that's for the oh. When did you fall out of love? Out of love. Oh. So there's that extra C sus2 when before it just stayed on the E minor. When did and then we're in the outro. We've got out of love, G, D, out of love, E minor, C sus2, out of love, back to D. But this last D before the final chord is gonna be a low octave bass note with, and then the final mi, E minor, is just gonna be the right hand, mi. So that final moment of the song, it doesn't have the low bass line. It just kind of, the floor drops out from it a little bit, and it's just, song's over. Okay, cool. So I just showed you bit by bit all the pieces to the song. If you're at all confused about how they all fit together, I'm about to do a full cover so you can see it all in action. Thank you for watching. I'm assuming if you got it this far that you found the video helpful. If that's true, I'd love it if you subscribed and turn on the notifications. Just trying to keep growing this channel, and let me know if there's any songs you are dying to learn. Okay, so here's my version of Out of Love. Lonely, 'cause it not a thing I could say, not a song I could sing for your mind to change. Nothing can fill up the space, won't ask you to stay, but let me ask you one thing. Oh, when did you fall out of love, out of love? Oh, when did you fall out of love with me? I can't float in an ocean that's already been drained. I won't cry at your feet now. I know my tears will fall in vain. There's not a thing I could say, not a song I could sing for your mind to change. Nothing can fill up the space, won't ask you to stay, but let me ask you one thing. Oh, when did you fall out of love, out of love? Oh, when did you fall out of love with me? No use wondering why your changing heart has wandered. So I'll ask you this question.